Living on the feeling. was a long day. It's just coming up to 6 o'clock now, and I'm on my way home. I knew that job was going to be a long one when I looked at it. I knew it wasn't going to be like a normal sort of 3 o'clock rock day. That ceiling needed quite a bit of preparation. The whole room did, really. The ceiling needed fairly good scrape down, really. It was quite a big ceiling. It was awkward as well, really, because the bed was in the way. And I know it's not a major obstacle, but just having a bed in the room can really, really slow you down. It really can. The paper tape for the joints with the Artex, because they'd all split, so they had to come out. So I ripped all them out. And when I ripped them out, I noticed that the Artex, the ceiling had been Artexed over like a lining point. So that got me sort of thinking, oh my god, like I hope that when I start skimming it, it doesn't start soaking through and penetrating, and then you're going to start getting the paper bubbles hanging. So I was watching for that like a hawk, but it didn't happen. Well, thank God anyway. So I just used a couple of sachets of extra time. I locked up 2 bags, and I put 2 sachets of extra time in it, and that held back too long, really. I didn't really need that. Maybe I could have got away with 1 sachet for the 2 bags. So it held back and it held back, and I did put a 3rd coat on that ceiling as well. I knocked up a quarter of a bag of stuff, and it just went over the top. It needed the 3 coats, really. That ceiling was very up and down. So I don't know if any of you eagle-eyed ones saw anything in there. I started laying it on with, it was an 18-inch carbon trowel, and that was that Wicks one. I know a couple of you have mentioned about the Wicks trowel. It's a good trowel. It's really comfortable to use. It's an old Wicks trowel, old carbon, 18-inch. But where the ceiling was so up and down, I didn't really want a rigid trowel, to be honest. I mean, I don't really care if that ceiling comes down dead flat. I'm just making it smooth. So if it's flat, it's not really why I'm there to make it flat. I'm making it smooth when you get over Artex like that. So I put it all on with the Plastering. I always go back to the Plastering. I think they're really good trowels then. And it just obviously glides over any lumps and bumps, but within reason you can get it fairly flat. So I put all 3 coats on with the Plastering, to be honest, and then I just troweled up with, I used a speed skim, and then I used my Raffina speed skim thing. But then I troweled up with I think most of the time I used my Nella Flex thing. But most of the work was done with the Plastering on that. And you can't notice it. You can't notice. I mean, I've put enough plaster on there that it's fairly level. But I didn't want to start using a rigid trowel. We've gone for about 4 bags of gear on that ceiling to get that dead flat. So anyway, a long day, a good productive day, and now they've asked me to go back and do the decorating. So I'll give them a little price for that, and no doubt I shall be back there. Might be able to squeeze it in at the end of next week if they go for it. So I'm sure I'll be back there to paint it. So a late day, but a good day. Anyway, I shall see you tomorrow, where I'm taking a shed down, I think, and then putting a new shed up for someone. Anyway, I'll see you there, and I'll see you then.